The air grew thick, heavy with an ancient dread as the shadows coiled and surged, like a monstrous tide threatening to swallow everything. They writhed around Liora and Azekar, not just darkness, but a physical manifestation of despair, whispering failures and fears into their minds. Azekar crumpled, his form flickering between man and wraith, the century of torment finally shattering his resolve. The storm overhead raged in sync with the chaos below, a symphony of destruction. For a moment, Liora felt the familiar chill of terror creeping up her spine, the old instinct to run, to hide, to become invisible. The whispers told her she was nothing, a mere vessel for a power she couldn't control, destined to be consumed just like all the others. But then something shifted. It was the sight of Azekar, his soul fracturing, his gentle eyes clouded with agony. It wasn't pity she felt, but a fierce, protective fire. This was not her end. This was her beginning. Her gaze fell upon the glowing sigils scattered on the ground, remnants of the broken veil. They pulsed with a faint dying light, echoing the fading hope of the trapped spirits. The shadows lunged, aiming for the last vestiges of light, but Liora was faster. She didn't just touch the sigils. She seized them, her fingers closing around the cold carved stone. They felt like anchors in a raging sea. She closed her eyes, not in fear, but in concentration, turning her focus inward. She thought of her childhood, hiding in closets from imagined monsters. She remembered the taunts, the isolation, the feeling of being a ghost in her own life. And then she channeled all of it, every second of fear, every tear of loneliness, every ounce of quiet endurance. She poured it not into the shadows, but into the light. Her courage, forged in the crucible of a lifetime of fear, became fuel. "No more," she whispered, her voice a tremor that grew into a resonant command. "No more hiding." Light, brilliant and blinding, erupted from her hands. It wasn't the cold, imprisoning light of the old veil. This was different. It was warm, golden, and alive. It sang a song of liberation, weaving through the air not as a cage, but as a tapestry of release. The light burst forth, a nova of pure, unadulterated hope. It didn't fight the shadows. It embraced them, infused them, and transformed them. The tormented whispers of the spirits turned into sighs of relief, their spectral forms dissolving into motes of peaceful energy that drifted towards the breaking dawn. The new veil, woven from Leora's own strength, solidified. It wasn't a barrier to keep the dead in, but a bridge to guide them home. It mended the spiritual rift that had bled poison into the land for 100 years. As the last spirit found its peace, the light flowed back, coalescing around Azekar. It washed over his fractured soul, sealing the cracks, soothing the pain, and untethering him from the curse. The wraith-like form dissolved completely, leaving behind a man, solid and whole, kneeling on the damp earth. The storm above broke, its fury spent, and the clouds parted. Silence descended upon the graveyard, a profound and peaceful quiet it hadn't known in a century. Liora stood, breathing deeply, the cool morning air filling her lungs. The sigils in her hands had gone dark, their power now a part of the world around her. She was no longer a vessel, a conduit for fear. She was a guardian, a weaver of peace between the realms of the living and the dead. Azekar rose, his form now entirely human, his eyes clear and filled with a gratitude so deep it needed no words. He bowed his head to her, a gesture of respect from one survivor to another. Together they stood amidst the ancient headstones as the first rays of the sun crested the horizon, painting the sky in hues of rose and gold. The light touched their faces, warm and real. For the first time in 100 years, the sun rose over a peaceful graveyard. And for the first time in her life, Liora wasn't afraid of the shadows, because she finally understood how to command the light. They watched the sunrise, two solitary figures who had found their purpose in the quiet aftermath of the storm, ready to face the new day. Thank you for watching this story unfold. If you were moved by Leora's journey, make sure to like, subscribe, and follow for more tales of courage and light.